Streaming Broadcast!
What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is obviously my review for the 2002 film Road to Perdition. So Road to Perdition, obviously with it turning 20 this year, I figured it gave me a pretty good excuse to finally sit down and review this film for you guys. Road to Perdition, for me, is a very underrated film. It's a film that is directed by Sam Mendes, the same director that did American Beauty, Revolutionary Road, Skyfall 1917, and a slew of other films. I've actually ranked his films. You guys can check that out on my director ranking list down below. But Road to Perdition is a film that's an interesting history for myself. I'll never forget the one time I went over to my uncle's house when I was really young, and I remember seeing the DVD for this. And I always thought that it was interesting looking. Like, just seeing, like, Tom Hanks in, like, a gangster kind of role, I was like, because, you know, at a young kid age, I think I was, 12, 13, I was like, Tom Hanks is always in, like, good guy roles. Like, he's not in bad guy roles. So I was always fascinated by it, and the name just kind of stuck with me. And I remember when I started watching, like, R-rated films, as I was getting older, I was like, I want to check out that film, Road to Perdition. And I remember I watched it my senior year of high school. And right from the beginning, I knew I was in for a special film, because the narration just was something that I noticed right away. It just felt very unique. It felt like you were in, like, a storybook. It felt like you were about to be introduced to a world that is very unique. And truth be told, it is. But not only is the narration unique, but you hear Thomas Newman's score, and it swells up, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is great. And I loved the film. The first viewing was something really special, because I remember the ending in particular really hit home. Like, what happens is it's one of those films where there's no narration throughout. It's that the opening scene has narration, then the ending scene has narration. And the ending scene having the narration, it just kind of hits home the themes and messages. And honestly, it got me to tear up the first time I saw it. It's a very interesting film in that the way it deals with the characters, it kind of keeps them at a distance, like in terms of emotions. So that way, when the ending happens, it's like, for some people, I can see why they might not be emotionally attached to the characters. But for me, because I saw that they were emotionally detached individuals, I was able to kind of look at it as a third party and see that as to why they were the way they were. So that way, when things happen at the end, for me, it made sense. I gotta say, like, Tom Hanks did such a great job in this particular role. It feels very fresh. He's a bad guy for sure, but he's also someone that is a family man. And so it's just interesting to kind of see those two kind of collide, like those two worlds, if you will, and how also Paul Newman's in this film, and he plays like a father-like figure to Tom Hanks almost. And it's just interesting. It's very fascinating. And you also have Daniel Craig in this film. And Daniel Craig plays such a hateable character, like truly, truly hateable. But he does such a great job in it. And it's kind of crazy to watch this film and be like, yeah, this guy's going to be a future James Bond. Also, want to say another guy that's in this film, Jude Law. Holy cow, what a performance. He's not in it that much, but the little bit that he's in it, amazing. And I also love Thomas Newman's, the theme for Jude Law's character. I thought that was something that was really great. But I also wanted to talk about the details of this film, because the production design, it's very high quality. I forget how much this movie cost, but it is something that is truly, like, well spent money on the screen. You can tell visually that this film is just well put together. It feels very detail oriented. The makeup, the costumes, it all comes together. But we got to talk about Conrad Hall's cinematography. Holy cow. This was the film, I would say, that really got me into just rain-drenched cinematography. When I saw this film and towards the end occurred, in that rain, oh my goodness, with Tom Hanks and Paul Newman, oh my goodness, it's incredible. It's very artistic also. This is a film that's very artsy, but this scene in particular, I think, is so effective because it drains out the sound. All you hear is Thomas Newman's score. You don't hear any of the rain. You don't hear any gunfire. You don't hear any of that. You just hear the score. And it really feels intimate, and it feels personal. And I think that that's something that is amazing. The directing also in this film by Sam Mendes is just great. He is someone that, he's very confident. Like, this is a film that's coming right off of his success with American Beauty, but he feels very confident with his direction. He's very much so treating the audience with respect, which is why I'm glad that he is just very detail-oriented with everything. And he knows where to put the camera. He knows, where to have the actors at and everything. It's great to honestly see. Is this film for everyone? No. As I said, this is a film that's very artistic. It's very artsy in many sequences. It doesn't feel like your typical mob film. Like, I can see many people watching this film thinking that it's going to be like your typical mob film and coming away disappointed, because it's not. It's like a family-based movie almost. Like, it's all about the family, but it's also about, what happens after. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, because I feel like, again, this is an underrated film. Like, yeah, it got some Oscar nominations back in the day, and it is very well received by critics, but I feel like audiences aren't really in tune with this movie at 20 years later, which is a shame. So that's why I'm trying to stay away from any plot points or story beats, but just go into this film with an open mind. Go into it just expecting a drama, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Road to Perdition, for me personally, I have very few flaws with this film. I think it's very well executed, and yeah, I personally gotta say it's one of my favorite films of the 2000s, and Road to Perdition, for me personally, I will be giving a... So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on Road to Perdition. If you have seen it, let me know down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget the subscription, notification bell, follow me on Letterboxd, and I will catch you guys later.